Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to show you guys quickly. I'm going to go over. I did a video yesterday on, kind of the platform that you're going to use to advertise. What you're going to do, like your $5 a day ads from. I showed you how, like on the fan page, what a basic fan page looks like when you set it up, and generally what you're trying to achieve with a fan page and why to use a fan page. Um, this is going to kind of show you how a basic engagement ad is set up. So kind of the ad that you're going to use just for your $5 a day testing and how really simple it is to set it up. Anybody can do this. The only difficult part of this, and it's not even really difficult, I've said the most difficult part of this is just setting up really the audience. I mean, the rest you just glide through. So what we would do is use $5 a day PPE ads, which is they're just your post engagement ads. So you're just wanting people to view, like and share. You're wanting to really bring in traffic to test a validity of an item of its interest. So I mean, that's the whole point. If you don't get engagement on your ads, then your ads are pointless because it's not getting you're not getting a response out of it. It's not bringing you people to your page, nor is it bringing traffic to your store. And ultimately, that's what we're using for this is trafficking people from Facebook and funneling them to your store. So the more views that you get in your store and the more popular an item is, or the more engagement you're getting in a post, those people are going to your store. More traffic in your store means more sales. Da da da. I mean, that's what you want as the traffic. That's what we're trying to get. So a regular PPE ad, as I just showed you, you would I just click engagement. For post engagement, you can put whatever you want here, kind of with the date if you have a bunch, so you know which what I mean, when you set this up and which one it is. So I'm going to use the Harry Potter fan page as an example. So we just do like Harry Potter. It already says the engagement. And then like a date. So for 7. Okay, we go to continue. And this is the more automated version, which is way easier for you guys to use. You can do this creation or you can use this is like the automated one, so it really walks you through the process. And so this is the most important part of the process right here is going to be the audience section. How are you targeting your audience? Who are you targeting? And ultimately, the targeting matters. And why we do the targeting is because you're targeting people that were using Harry Potter that are already interested in Harry Potter. Facebook has that data. Those are the people we're going to target. Of course, you're not just going to show it to anybody because obviously, if you show it to anybody or everybody, I should say, that, you want detailed targeting. You want to show this to people that are already interested in what you're selling. So if you're targeting people that are interested in Harry Potter, that's who you want to show your ad to because obviously they're already interested in it. That's the subject they have interest in. So you're going to get traffic from them. You're going to get buyers from people. So it's that simple is you're targeting people that already have that interest for anything that you're selling. That's why the ads do so well. It's not like a commercial on TV where everybody sees it and then, you know what I mean? They're just showing it to everyone and then whoever, is interested, obviously they go and look up or whatever it may be. But with this, we're just showing it to people that just have interest in Harry Potter for whatever it may be. So basically when you're on the audience section, this is use to save audience, which you could have created earlier. You can build audiences around you can build custom audiences. You can use the saved audience. So after I create this one, I could save it. And then if I was doing something around the same niche, I could go back and instead of doing this process, use the audience that I've already created and already saved. So we're going to keep all this stuff like pretty broad for we'll start up here. That's the custom audience. We haven't done that yet. So you guys aren't going to be dealing with this at all. For the locations. Like if you're just targeting the US, everyone in this location. So you don't want to use everyone in this location. You want to hit the drop down bar and you want to use everyone who lives in this location. Because if you put everyone in this location, they're going to target people that are maybe here out of town, maybe on vacation, maybe here for the winter or whatever it may be. And we don't want to target those people because more than likely people that are on vacation and things like that don't really buy and it's not something it's probably not going to be sent to them and da da da. So you're not really going to buy when you're on vacation or so we just eliminate those people by people who strictly just live in this location. Obviously it's going to be we're going to be United States. you can keep the age pretty broad. Sometimes the stuff that, that's like a younger age group, which you already know, you can take the age and you can drop it down, which I don't, you can drop it down later also. But let's say you can drop it down to like 50, people that are interested in Harry Potter are probably young, so maybe go to like 45 or whatever. You can leave it to 60. And you see over here, some of it's cut off because I have the screen shortened a little bit, but this has 130 million. So every time we cut an age group, cut between men and women, see it's 130 million. This is on all, look at, we just hit men. So it's going to cut down the potential reach every time the more we narrow this audience. So, and that's what you want. You don't want an enormously large audience. We want detailed, smaller, clustered audience that where they're just interested in how we're narrowing down the exact, trying to get to the exact person that's interested in the exact thing with the exact age, da 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 da. And you'll learn that it'll show you more and more once you get the ad starting, like the analytics will show you, which age group clicked on it, you know what I mean, if it was mostly men or mostly women, and then you can start, later, or change that audience and start and make a maybe new ad that's targeting just those exact people that have kind of already clicked on the ad. So showing you what your audience is. Um, so, like I said, with the age group, we'll keep this all because it'll be men and women. And what we'll do is English, and it'll let you choose what kind of English. So, English is like UK. Oh my God. So we got English UK, US. So we'll do English all. So, and see back to all for gender. So it went back to whatever it was, 120 million, and it'll start to narrow as we start to go through the next step. So we're at English all, and here is the biggest part. This is what's going to matter. Is that this is the detail targeting, and this is will let you narrow. I'll show you how it works. So we're at the age group. We're at 120 million right now. It or 18 ages up to whatever we did, 55. Also men and women, people that live in the U.S. and that was it. So now this is where it starts to really knock the audience down. For those $5 PPE ads or those testing ads where you're just testing your items to kind of see if you're testing for the social proof, you're testing for the engagement, how interested people are, how you have the audience made, and things like that. So this is what happens when we just hit Harry Potter. From the 120 million, so it knocked it down to 7 million. So from all those people, the people that we came up with up here, 18 to 45, who live in the U.S., all men and women, English, all, it dropped it down to 7 million people, which is still too much. So 59 million people would be interested in Harry Potter, but for the ones that we just chose, from where it may be, it knocked down to 7 million people in the U.S. That for our demographic. So Harry Potter, and see what happens now is, okay, so when you just use Harry Potter, 7 million is going to be too much for what we're doing. So what happens now is you see the narrow audience section. We're not going to bother with the exclude people. We're going to go, this is the basic setup. So we're going to go to narrow audience. So you want it to be a little more, you want it to be a little more targeted. So Harry Potter, and so let's go with like, what you ask yourself is how can you narrow this more? People that are interested in Harry Potter, and so say like, okay, so we can use the item. So say we're using the necklace. So Harry Potter, okay. Jewelry. Okay, what can we use? Okay, so people that are interested in, so say like we were selling something Hogwarts related, and we had Harry Potter at the main interest at 7 million, And then let's say that your item that you're selling, let's say we're not using an item that's circulated around Hogwarts, but this makes it a little bit easier. So let's say that your item was like something, having to do with Hogwarts is what you were selling. Maybe like maybe like a castle, figurine or something related around Hogwarts. So what we're doing is we started at the broadest as being Harry Potter because that's what it is generalized. Obviously, it's Harry Potter, the Harry Potter movies. So Harry Potter would be the broadest keywords for what we're searching. So the next to narrow it, so we don't want just the people that are interested in Harry Potter. So what narrows it and gets us that more condensed audience is okay. We don't want just people interested in Harry Potter. We want them to be interested in Hogwarts also. So what's that do? It continues to narrow and make the smaller audience. So okay, so they're interested in Harry Potter, but people that are interested in just Hogwarts and Harry Potter, it dropped it down to 1,900,000. And you can keep doing this. You can go narrow further. So maybe someone that's interested in Harry Potter, that's interested in Hogwarts, and maybe interested in a specific person and Hogwarts, maybe interested in Hogwarts. You know what I mean? Maybe I don't know. Um, Maybe something castle related. It's hard to say, but sometimes it gets tricky, because you can only narrow it so far. There's nothing to, there's nowhere to narrow it from here. We can go Dumbledore. Albus Dumbledore. Okay, so Hogwarts and then just Albus Dumbledore. Let's see what it does. Okay, so we have Harry Potter is the broadest, and you want to narrow it more. So we went from a 7 million audience to a 1.9 million audience, and then now we're at a 380,000 audience. So let's say that this is the item that we're circulated around selling. So we're selling an Albus Dumbledore figurine or something with a picture on it, or whatever it may be. So this is how we would come up with the audience. We started at the broadest Harry Potter, and then it narrowed it a little bit further to Hogwarts, and then we narrowed it even further than that to Dumbledore. So it's basically taking an audience that has to have all these three interests combined. Obviously, we know where they're interested in Harry Potter, but Hogwarts, maybe it's got something to do with Hogwarts. Maybe it's a Hogwarts whatever figurine or whatever, maybe with Dumbledore next to it. So we're basically building an audience and narrowing it as small as possible. So now we know, rather than the 7 million that we just started with Harry Potter, now we know that if we're advertising something related to these two, that these 380,000 people have real interest in these three things, starting with where we started at from what we narrow it to. So that now post engagement for, I think this starts at $5 a day automatically. Yeah, so $5 a day, this is going to be the potential post engagement, and this is like the daily reach where it'll put you between 410 and 1400. Okay, so that's basically how this works with anything. You can do it, around anything. Let's say that you're using bodybuilding as a niche and you wanted to, you had, you wanted to appease to the people that have, let's say, a ketogenic diet. So what you would do is the same thing. Bodybuilding would be the broadest because that's what it is. Or bodybuilders doing the, ketogenic diet. So bodybuilders would be, and then maybe ketogenic would be the next thing you narrowed it to. And then you could narrow it again to maybe one specific guy that promotes a ketogenic, has like a course or like, something circulated around ketogenics. So it's just continuing to narrow with all the interests that would be circulated around what you're selling until you get a nice narrowed audience to a number that's usually under 800,000 is what I do for like the $5 a day ads, and that seemed to what has worked the best. So this would be with anything in this subject. So let's continue with this one. So it brought us to 380,000. Sometimes I typically would do a little bit more. That's not a bad number. I mean, I typically go at like 700,000, somewhere in that range. Basically like 700 to like 850. But just because it's at this number, that doesn't necessarily mean that that's not good. So this is probably a little lower because let's see what we do if we bring the age back to all the people that are interested back to age 64. See, that brought us to 400,000. So it really didn't change that much when we're talking about the age, but look what would happen if we did just men or just women. It'll probably cut in half. Yeah, 230,000. So you can just tell by who you keep eliminating off, where how many people. We just showed this to women, it'd be 170,000. But we want to keep all because both people would be interested. Okay, so now next, a connection type, you skip that. And this is, you can save the audience to use it later, like I showed you in the beginning, as you saved audience. If you're going to do something that's strictly around this, probably not what you narrowed it to, but if you are, save the audience and you don't have to go through that process again. You're going to want to do automatic placements if you don't. If you haven't, until you really get into it, you do automatic placements and see that raise the audience even more to 460,000. This is letting Facebook show it to who they want to show it to. You'll worry about the edit placements later. Edit placements, I'll just show you what it is. It shows where we're showing it. A lot of people delete audience networks and delete it off Instagram because if you don't even have the right picture size, they won't show it on Instagram. But for in the beginning, for when you're just doing it from scratch, from start, before when you're starting to get used to the process, just use auto placements. Your daily budget, this is what we're going to do at $5 a day. But watch what happens when we do, let's say we double that and we wanted to do $10 a day, which isn't necessary. But see how much this jumped up when we changed from the $5 a day to $10 a day. You give Facebook more money, they're going to show it to more people. Your reach is going to get bigger by how much that you're willing to spend. And see, it drops back down once we cut the budget in half. You're showing Facebook, well, I'm willing to spend this much to advertise this to this many people. And what you'll see is, okay, when you get your ad going, and we'll get into this just for a second, you'll see the cost per click. And the better targeting you use, Facebook is going to realize that once it starts showing it to all these people. So if all the people that it's showing it to are interested, it's going to actually spend your money more wisely. That's why we do the targeting too, because if you just showed it to everybody, you're wasting a bunch of money because maybe 80% of the people you show it to aren't even interested. So by doing it also, this makes it so Facebook more efficiently spends your money and you're showing it to the right people. So it's better for you in every way. And that's why the audience, that's why the targeting is important. Okay, so this is it. So you spend $35 a week for 7 days at $5 a day, post engagement. You don't mess with any of this. We'll hit continue. And you'll go, okay, so this lets you show, this is where I said use an existing post. So what you would do is, here's the Harry Potter page. So all you'll do is you'll click on this, you will hit the Harry Potter page, the fan page, you'll go down and find it. And then when you go down again to select a post, you'll select the post that we made. So it'll show you this page for select the page. Then when you go to select the post, it'll let you select this post. So the post that you choose is where Facebook's going to shoot the traffic that you're paying the $5 a day ad for. And that's basically it. So once you do that, you'll go down to the bottom, you'll hit continue, and your ad will be live. As long as you've done gone through all your steps. So it's really that simple. Sure, it gets trickier later on when you're doing when you do like manual bids, so you're making the budget yourself. Maybe different audiences, maybe a little bit trickier to target audiences, things like that. But in the $5 a day testing, though, starting out in the ads manager and starting out these beginning audiences isn't difficult. It's very, very easy to do the targeting, who you're going to show it to, and for any item that's going to be. Any item that you're going to be able to target those people, you know what I mean? Unless it's something super ridiculous, but any item that you're going to be able to target those people, and that's the point, is that's why Facebook ads work so well, is they already have the data. They already have the people that are going to be interested in. So as soon as you target them, that's strictly who Facebook's going to show it to. So basically, it's like, candy, what I mean? It's like dangling candy in front of a baby, really. I mean, it's doing all the work for you. You don't have to hunt these people down. Facebook does it for you, and that's why you're paying them for the ads. I'll have kind of more videos circulated around this, maybe a little bit more detailed targeting, maybe stuff around that same subject, or what happens when your ad gets going and how you know that it's doing well. That'll be next. But okay, guys, if you haven't already done it, give me a thumbs up if you would. Subscribe to my channel, and I will continue to have videos up like this as I see more interest and people asking more questions. Okay, thanks, guys.